So we all know how I feel about the Nintendo Switch Online. I am very, very, very disappointed in the service. I think it's a very lackluster service, and, people are like, I've gotten comments before that are like, how can you say that a service isn't good if you haven't had that said service? Well, firstly, I actually have. I tried the 7-day trial. I never bought into this Switch Online. I tried the 7-day trial, didn't care too much for it, and I just kind of, stopped, And also, it's kind of like saying, a restaurant isn't great. You know that this restaurant doesn't have the best food. It doesn't have the best service. So why bother going to that restaurant if there are other options available to you that are better? It's stupid that people think that just because I haven't bought into the Nintendo Switch Online, that means I can't comment on it. That means I can't say that this doesn't look great. This service does not look great. And to me, until Super Mario Maker comes out, there aren't any real games that draw me to wanting to get the Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, yes, there's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but I can play that at home. I can play that with people at home. And yes, Splatoon 2 is a mainly online-focused game, but guess what? I haven't played the Octo expansion, which is a full single-player experience, so if I really want to get into this game again, I could buy the Octo expansion, or I think I haven't even completed the main story. I think I'm on the last, world, but I haven't completed it still. And this game, forget it, that game doesn't even time me at all with online. So, really, Nintendo Switch's online offerings are pretty lackluster. And you look at, Games for Gold and PlayStation, what they offer, for free games each month, and Nintendo offers NES games. What are we getting this month? Clue Land? Excite Bike Versus is probably the best one of them. Donkey Kong Jr. These aren't games that keep people interested long enough. It'll be cool when/if I get the Nintendo Switch Online because I'll have a huge library of NES games to play through, but what? I'll play Super Mario Bros. 3 for a little while. I'll play Super Mario Bros. For a little while. I'll play probably Super Mario Bros. 2 Lost Levels for a little while, but I'm definitely not playing all those NES games. I'll probably play some Ghosts and Goblins and, that stuff, but what? An hour or two? Maybe, Mario Bros. 3 I'll stick with for a while, but all the other games, I won't be interested for a long time. So, 2 hours, 3 hours of gameplay, maybe not counting Super Mario Bros. 3. So, it really isn't a great service. So, here are some things I think they could do to improve the service.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
A. Improve online functionalities in the games that are currently out for the Switch. Now, I think Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is really the only game that really does it right. This game does online right. You could share your stage builder levels, and people could download them. You can get online and play in tournaments and just casual play. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate does it right. But I think it's really the only game that does it right. And I'm not going to go into why every single game, why every single game really, doesn't do online well. But I will talk about 3 games. The first of which I'm going to talk about here is Splatoon 2. Now, Splatoon 2 is close to doing it right. But the problem is that there's a lot of limitations in Splatoon 2 online. You can play only 2 maps every few hours. They just rotate. And I'm like, why? Why not have it like Mario Kart 8, where everyone picks a map that they can play on, and then, it goes through a cycle, and your map can get chosen. Why isn't it like that? That completely confuses me. I think it's like that for both the original Splatoon and this game. I think it's like that because when the game first came out, the lack of maps would have really made it obvious that there was a lack of maps. Well, at least when there's rotating, you at least get new maps every 2 to 4 hours. But if without that, if you just choose every map, you can go through each map, in an hour or so. So it's a way to kind of keep things fresh, as they say in Splatoon. But now that there's at least a decent amount of maps, it's really pointless to still have that cycling system. Now that there's, I don't know how many maps there are in Splatoon, I'll put the number somewhere on screen, but now, why not just have people vote on the map? And even worse, Salmon Run, right? Salmon Run, where it has certain hours that it's open to players playing on it. What the hell? a mode in a game that's only open certain hours. Really? So what's going to happen when the servers for the Switch stop? Right? What if people want to play Salmon Run co-op? Nope. Once the online servers stop, so does Salmon Run. And it's like, really? So Salmon Run's going to stop. What if they don't bring it back for Splatoon 3? What if they, completely change it and, no one can play the original Salmon Run? I like Salmon Run. I actually think it's really, really fun. But being limited to when I can play, especially on a service that you're paying for. If I'm paying for online, I'm paying to play my games online, why would I not be allowed to play Salmon Run whenever I want? And people are like, oh, it's Nintendo, they do weird gimmicky things. Okay, so let's put the same situation with another company, right? Let's do Activision, right, with the Call of Duty series. What if Zombies mode is the most comparable thing? What if Zombies mode was only playable certain times on certain days? Right? There would be an uproar. It would be why would they do that? Why would they limit how often people could play Zombies? Same thing. I like Salmon Run a lot, but if I'm not able to play it whenever I want, I don't feel the incentive to check when it'll be up. I don't. It's like, have it available for people, especially if they have the online service, or even better, have the time thing, but for non-Nintendo Switch Online owners. Right? So if they can get a sample of what online with Splatoon is like, and then if you get the Nintendo Switch Online, you can play it whenever you want. That's the most simple thing. Alright, I spent a long time talking about Splatoon 2, but you get my point. And the next one here is Mario Party. Oh my god, they dropped the ball with this one, with the online. Every single time I watch someone stream this game with their viewers, it lagged uncontrollably. Now maybe they fixed it, they've patched it, but there's not much there anyways. It's literally just 10 minigames. You mean you can't get the online working for 10 minigames at launch? It's 10 minigames. It's not like you're doing a whole full game on a party board. You're literally just playing through a select 10 minigames that Nintendo chooses. You can't choose what 10 minigames you get to play. No. It's Nintendo. They choose it for you. Yeah. And the board, the fun mode that most people like, the main reason people bought into this Mario Party, nope, can't play that online either. No. No, you offer 10 new modes. 10 modes. You got the Mario Party mode. You got the Partner Party mode. You got the River Survival mode. You got the Rhythm mode. You got the mini game mode. You got the single player mode. I mean, great, the single player mode you want to play online, but nothing else works online besides mini games. And at that, only 10 of them work. What, there's 80 mini games, right? 80 mini games? Yeah, 80 new mini games. Yeah, only 10 of them work online. Why is that? River Survival, that's a perfect online thing. The party mode, that's a perfect online thing, but nope. And you launched this only a couple weeks after Nintendo Switch Online came out. So that would have been the perfect game to say, hey, if you really want the most of the online service, get this game. You can play online. It is the Super Edition of Mario Party. But it's really not. It's pretty lame. And lastly, Yoshi's Crafted World. Now, I know this is a mainly single-player experience, but they do offer co-op. And, the thing is, Nintendo, it isn't like Xbox and PlayStation, right? With the Switch, or with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, you have all those online multiplayer games to really make getting into the online service worth it. But what? The real main online multiplayer games you have on the Switch at the moment are Smash Bros. And Splatoon. Those are the main ones. And maybe Mario Maker if multiplayer gets confirmed for it. So, really, they should have more offerings for online so that more people buy into the online. Now, I get it. The service is cheaper. But at the same time, we're still spending money on something that was at one point free. Because that's the big thing here for most Nintendo fans. This service was at one point free. And now you are charging money. Especially given the fact that Nintendo's core audience is, as you can tell by this game, younger. So now you're charging a bunch of younger people. Now, a lot of adults own a Switch. We all know that. But there's also a huge young crowd. So having games for the younger crowd that they can't play online, like I said, there's Smash Bros. And Splatoon, but Yoshi's Crafted World, you have a co-op mode. Why not implement online? Why not give the game more replayability? Why not give the game more of a reason to play with a friend? You know, I've heard from lots of people, CC Media being one of them, that Yoshi's Crafted World is just so much better with a friend. You know, it's a game you really probably don't want to actually play alone. You want to get a friend and play with them. So, the fact that there's no online support, at least I don't think there is. I'm decently sure there's not. No clue why there's not. Also, let's bring up the Nintendo Switch Online app for a second, okay? I opened it up after, what, maybe a year of not really touching it, because I wanted to see what changes they've made to it ever since the online has started. And honestly, I didn't notice anything. I honestly didn't notice any changes. It literally just gave me the 2 games that I have that are compatible with the app, which are Splatoon 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I can check them, and but I need an online account to check them, so I didn't really go into them. But it's like you have this bland, generic, good-for-nothing app. You know, it's one thing if you want the app for just the games and because it's decently cool to be able to go onto the app and say, okay, I can get these Smash Brothers stages ready to download on my Switch, or I can check what maps are up for Splatoon. Cool, that's awesome. But at the same time, voice chat, what's the purpose of it? If you're going to have voice chat on your phone, well, there's other apps that you could do that with. Discord, Skype, Facebook Messenger. There's literally so many other apps that you could do the voice chat with. So what's the point of having it on your phone? And I remember at one point, Reggie Fils-Aimé, when asked why voice chat's on a phone, people are like, oh, you have your phone everywhere. So it makes sense to, have your phone, use voice chat. And it makes sense until you think, if you're playing your Switch online with your friends, you most likely have your Switch with you too. Alright, yeah, you have your phone with you everywhere, cool. But if you're playing the Switch, you have the Switch with you too. So that's like one of the most BS excuses. I love Reggie, but that's one of the most BS excuses I've ever heard. It's like saying you're on a hike, right? You're on a hike. It's a really hot day and you're sweating, and you have 2 water bottles with you, right? The really, really lukewarm one and the nice ice cool one. And you drink from the warm one because you have the warm one. But no, that's not the one that you want. That's not the one people want. You want the ice cold one, but you're not going to drink it because you have the warm one. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. And let's talk about, at least to me, the elephant in the room, and that's no virtual console. It sounds stupid complaining about not getting something you're paying for, and for me, if it was like the Wii U 2, or if it was just a home console, I wouldn't care that much. I could play virtual console games on the Wii U. I don't care. But this is the Switch. This is a portable hybrid system. So I'd be able to play these games on the go as well. So the fact that we don't have virtual console is one thing. But the fact that we're getting these NES games online, that does it. It's like, what's the point? And I get it. They're going to probably finish up with NES one day and then move on to Super Nintendo. Then maybe one day N64 and then GameCube, hopefully. But it's like, every month you're releasing 3 NES games. And it's like, there's really nothing special there unless you're that demographic that likes NES games. Personally, I don't care much about NES games. I'm preferring SNES and up. But even at this point, SNES, I'm like, yeah, I like SNES games, I really do. Super Metroid's fun, Mario World's fun, Yoshi's Island's really good, but it's like, I have to wait for these now? Like, why can't SNES and NES come out at the same time? Three games each month for each system, so you get a whole total of 6 games each month. So you get 6 games each month, and then once you finish both of those, and then move on. Even if GameCube isn't going to come, do N64 and Game Boy Advance. Do something like that. Do that, and then maybe GameCube later down the road one day. Have more options. There are so many people who do not care about NES games. Really. And the people who are like, oh yay, NES games, they'll play them for maybe an hour or so, and then they're done. On Xbox Games for Gold, I got Zombie, or Zombie U, as it's known on the Wii U, and that's a game that lasts me, 10 to 15 hours, and that's one of the games they offer. You know, I get it that their selection is never that great, but they have at least the Game Pass to supplement it as well. I'm going to do a whole other video about Virtual Console someday and what they could do to replace it, but at the same time, it's like, you know, we get the Switch games, cool, but, you know, like, I have all these GameCube games, you know? I'm able to play these games. I literally made a video the other day talking about GameCube games that I want for the Switch. And this isn't just limited to GameCube games. This is N64 games as well. I got those games up there. You know, I don't know how you can see them, but I'll bring them down. My 3-box N64 games. Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and Mario Party. Like, just imagine being able to play the original Mario Party, or probably more popular would be Mario Party 2, but imagine being able to play those on the Nintendo Switch on the go. Right? You pass around the Joy-Cons and you can enjoy classic Mario Party 2. That would satisfy the people who are probably my age. You know? So it's like, you know, because, you know, the NES is cool and all that, but that's for an older crowd. And I get it, the older crowd is buying into the Switch, but for Virtual Console stuff, you kind of want to appease everyone. And offering more than just NES games will do that. And I get it, there's also Tetris 99, but how long will that last? Because that's an online exclusive game. How long will that last? Until it fades out. So, I don't know. Offering more variety on the eShop is a definite must. Alright, this kind of turned into a little bit of a ramble video, but you get my point. The Nintendo Switch Online has a lot of little problems. Like, overall, the service is okay. Like, you know, it seems like the online's been starting to get better for people. It's starting to work properly. You know, like, there are some decent online games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Splatoon 2 to some extent. You know, so the online, for what it's worth, isn't horrible. But, you know, I think the main reason that the online service has 10 million users is because of games like Smash Bros. Ultimate. People are only getting the online service because of Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Mario Maker 2, or Splatoon 2. They're not getting it because the online service is great. They're getting it because of games that they have to get the online service for, like Smash Bros., like Splatoon. You know? Or ARMS, for whatever that's worth. ARMS kind of died out, but you know what I mean, right? So it's like, they're not getting it for the service. They're getting it for the games that they're like, oh, I gotta get the service. You know, it's $20. What's that gonna do? So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.